Okay, today I'm going to do a head-to-head comparison of two of my more recent purchases, both being two-tone polymer 9mm pistols. The first one will be the Beretta PX4 Storm, and that is the Inox model. And the second one will be the FNX-9 from FN. Both of these are 9mm pistols. Both of them have very similar features. So I'm going to compare them head to head, rate them on a scale from 1 to 10 in my own personal opinions of how they perform in each category. I will try to do this in a manner which I can get this all in one video of 10 minutes or less. If I cannot, I may have to split it into two videos. But I want to be thorough and I want to cover everything so I don't have to answer a lot of questions later. So let's get to it. Okay, first I'm going to deal with probably the most subjective aspect of both guns, and that is the aesthetics. How do they look? Are they an attractive gun? Are they an ugly gun? Whatever. Well, we'll start off here with the FN. Now, the FN is not going to win any beauty contests. It's square. It does have, some little accent cuts and everything to make it look a little different. But it's pretty much a utilitarian design, very simple. Controls are very simple. The look is very simple. Very straight across on the side over here. It's very SIG-like. I know they did give it a lot of front serrations and back serrations to add a little, to break it up a little bit. The back hammer is nicely shaped. It's the see-through cutaway hammer. Just a really aggressive gripping, nice shape to the grip, nice shape to the trigger guard, nice shape to the front of the gun. So I mean, it's not a bad looking gun, but it is in no way a beautiful gun. Okay, now we'll look at the Beretta. Now the Beretta overall just looks like a more designed gun. It does have that Italian flair. I like how the hammer is a little more recessed and hidden. I like how the lines are a little less angular. They're not quite as square. Everything isn't, at right angles to each other. There are more tapered lines, more, angles at varying degrees. A lot more flow, a lot more tapered, like I say, a lot more, what would you call it, just more rounded off edges. More flowing edges, how this flows into the grip more. The grip itself is much more flowing, a whole lot less aggressive, just a lot nicer looking in my opinion. The trigger guard is very nicely shaped into the body of the gun. Everything about the gun seems very well thought out from a design standpoint. It's almost like they went out of their way to make it attractive. I even like the recess for the extractor here. Just overall, the looks of the gun are impressive. So in the end, I think I would give the FN, I would probably give it about a 7 as far as appearance go. And as for the Beretta, I would probably give it a 9. Okay, now let's discuss features. Now, one feature I'm not going to count off on either gun is the fact they don't have night sights, because I did not order them that way, so I can't hold that against them. So let's just discuss the features they do have, features I think they should have, and the value of each feature that the gun does or does not have. First off, let's start talking about the firing mechanism. This is a double action, single action gun. Every subsequent shot will be single action if the gun is loaded and you fire it. Your first shot will usually be double action. You do not have the option for carrying cocked and locked for a single action shot on the first shot. So if you want a single action shot first shot, you would have to manually thumb the hammer and pull the trigger. That is an option, but it's not going to be the default option of the gun to be single action on the first shot. Now, another feature of the gun is that it does have manual safety and a decocker. Once the gun cycles, you set the safety, it decocks the gun. There is no option of not decocking the gun when you put on the safety. It just decocks the gun. Then you can place the gun back off, take off the safety, carry the gun in double action mode with the safety off, which is my preference. Another feature of the gun, accessory rail. Both guns have an accessory rail. Both work pretty well. Another feature of the guns that you will see on both guns is an adjustable back strap. Now, the Beretta back strap is a little harder to change. You actually have to take this out, and then there is a little pin right here that you have to pry this out, and then you can change the back straps. Not as easy as with the other gun, but still, the back straps blend in very well. They're very stable. They don't move. So it does have very, very nice exchangeable back straps. Now, the controls on this gun, it does have a nice slide stop release. I like the slide stop release, very well made, snag free, pretty easy, doesn't cut your fingers up. Now, it does have the little like the Glock style takedown notches here that I do not like very much. And another thing about it is the trigger seems a little thin for me, but it's fine the way it is. Both guns have 17 round magazines, so you have 17 plus rounds. So as far as features go on this gun, I really can't think of very many features that I would add to the gun that it doesn't already have. The only thing I can think of that it doesn't have is that ability to carry cocked and locked, but that would not be a preference of anything I would want to do anyway. Now it does not have ambi safety, ambi slide release or ambi magazine release. I'm betting this can be reversed, but it's not going to be ambidextrous, so it does not have that. So overall, I'm going to give this gun, as far as features go, I can't really think of much that I would want to add to it, so I'm going to give this gun an 8 overall. Okay, now the features of the FN. The FN has all the features that the Beretta has, pretty much all the features, and then it has some additional features. For one, it does have the SIG-like takedown lever here, which you just pull down and slide right off. Much easier, in my opinion. The back straps are much easier to exchange. You just poke a little something in that hole and it slides right off. Now they do wiggle a little bit because of that, so they're not the best build quality, but as far as features go, it's there and it works very easily. Even has a little lanyard strap on the back straps, and you have multiple different styles of back straps. You don't even have to take anything out to change this. You just poke that hole, it comes right out, so that's very easy. It does have double action, single action. You can carry the gun in double action or single action with the safety on, so you can carry it cocked and locked, or you can decock it and carry it to where the first round is double action, and then every subsequent round would be single action. So it does have a safety and decocker. Decocker is mounted on the frame, which I like better than the safety that's mounted on the slide of the other gun. So overall, has the same features, and this gun does have the ambi release, does have the ambi slide release and the ambi mag release. So this gun, actually, I think it wins out as far as features go, because I can't think of anything this gun can't do. So as far as features go, it has everything, so I have no real choice other than to give this gun a 10 as far as features are concerned. Okay, now we're going to discuss build quality of both guns. Like I said, the gun has excellent features, but there are some features on it that aren't built quite as well. Like I mentioned, the back strap. It does, you can see there's that wiggle in the back strap. And when you take the back strap off, you notice the mechanism that holds it in place is not very sturdy. I would not trust it to not break. So the back strap being a weakness of the gun. Also, the parts, if you just look, there's not a lot of flow, in my opinion, between the safeties. It's got the lower grade slide release, just not a lot of flow. It almost looks like these are features that weren't meant to go together. You know, the metal takedown rod, the plastic safety here, the cheaper version of the slide release, this bulbous magazine release. They just almost look like they aren't made to go together, and they don't feel like they're of top-notch quality, especially this being plastic. Now overall, the gun is built very well. The plastic does feel a little cheap, but I've had that experience with some of my SIGs lately too. I'm sure the plastic is fine. It just has that flat, textureless feeling. There's not a lot of flow to it. It's very square, so it kind of has a cheap feeling. And the aggressive texturing on the grip doesn't help. This does feel kind of bold, kind of cheesy, kind of cheap, and kind of rough. So that doesn't help the overall feel of the build quality. But as far as how tightly put together it is, very well put together in the back, very well put together in the front, and it does have that one feature that I do really like, that you can't see through the gun when you look down the side. It doesn't have that lack of plastic. Never understood why manufacturers are worried about 1/8 of an ounce of plastic when they could really make their guns appear much nicer if they just filled in that area. So it must be a cost thing. It's the only thing I can figure. Cost and weight is about the only factors I can think of why they would do that. So overall, as far as build quality, I'm afraid I just can't give this gun much more than a 7. It's almost an 8, but this being plastic, that puts it down to a 7. If this was a metal, I think I'd give this an 8 or a 9 even. But I'm going to give this gun a 7 as far as build quality goes. A very serviceable gun, it's decent quality gun, but it just doesn't have that extra feel that pushes it over the top. Okay, now let's discuss the build quality of the Beretta. Now this is where the build of the Beretta really shines. This gun is very well put together. Everything is very clean. Everything feels very nicely made. All the seams line up perfectly. You don't have any of that frame sag or pig nosing that you see in other guns like M&Ps and Glocks. It's just all very symmetrical, very well formed. The patterns and textures are very well thought out. The seams are not aggressive. You don't run your finger along, cut your finger on a seam like you do on some less expensive guns. So as far as build quality is concerned, this gun is top notch. Like the FN, you can't see through the slide. I really like that feature. Now the only place place I'm going to take off for this gun as far as build quality is concerned is I do not like this little thing up here, these two pull down things for the slide release. I don't like that at all for when you're tearing the takedown levers. I don't like that at all. So as far as build quality, I would give this gun a 10 if it wasn't for those. So I'm going to give the gun a 9. So overall, I would give this gun the advantage in build quality at a 9. Okay, now let's discuss the ergonomics. Let's discuss how they feel in your hand. Now the Beretta feels very good. That grip is very comfortable. It's not too aggressive, and I can really reach the trigger. So really, really good ergonomics for me. Fits my hand perfectly. With the medium back strap on, my finger seems to rest perfectly on the trigger. The slide controls are easy to release. The slide release, the safety, on and off. It's very easy to do. Just very comfortable gun. Doesn't hurt to hold it. Doesn't hurt to shoot it. You don't feel like you're straining to reach for anything. It feels like it molds into your hand. So as far as ergonomics go, I'm going to give this gun a 9. I mean, it's almost perfectly fit into my hand. It's a really good gun. It just feels very comfortable, shoots very smoothly, so just a really good gun. So like I said, I'll give it a 9. Now the FN, I'm going to say it's very comfortable. I can get a very good reach on it, like I say, with the adjustable back straps. You can get to where it fits your hand very well. Doesn't feel as comfortable to me as the Beretta does. Doesn't fit my hand as well. With the back straps, with one I feel like my finger is too far, the trigger's too far back, and with one I feel it's slightly too far forward, and the grip is very aggressive. But I'm going to give this gun the same rating as the Beretta. It's going to get a 9 also. But it's mainly because it is very adjustable. It will fit a lot of people. The safety is easier to use. It's frame mounted instead of slide mounted. It's easier to reach. The slide stop is not quite as easy to use, but it is very easy to use still, even though not as easy as the Beretta. And it has the advantage of the ambi controls. So it just makes it very comfortable, very easy to use for more people. Because that way the left-handed people can be just as comfortable using the gun. And the little things like the aggressive grip and things like that, that's subjective, and you can also overcome it with a glove if you want to shoot with a glove. And the adjustable back straps make it very easy to fit it to anyone's hand. Good long grip, just like the Beretta. You can get all your fingers on it. So a 9 for this gun also. So for different reasons, both guns will get a 9 in this category. Okay, I've been blabbering on for quite a while here, and I'm running out of recording time, and the video is getting kind of long. I've only got 1 minute left on my card here of recording time, so I'm going to go ahead and break the video here. So far, I've covered aesthetics, build, features, ergonomics, all the physical aspects of the gun, the physical characteristics. So we'll break it at this point. That's a good place to stop. In the next video, which I'll try to post the same time I post this video, I will cover more aspects like reliability, performance, ease of use. So more of the performance at the range view of the gun. I'll have some range footage of it, and I'll also cover accessories a little bit and give a final opinion of both guns. So hope you enjoyed this video, and keep your eyes open for part 2, which will cover, like I say, the more performance related aspects of the guns.